Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Coast News. And as always, we've got some amazing news from different theme parks, rides, attractions and events all over the world. So let's get straight into the news today. Our top story for tonight, Mandrill Mayhem has now begun testing at Chessington World of Adventures. And this is absolutely monumental for roller coasters in the UK. And obviously specifically B&M roller coaster in the UK, because this is the first B&M roller coaster to be built in the UK since the Swarm in Fort Park 11 years ago. B&M has now made their return to the UK, and this is the first time a B&M roller coaster has tested around the circuit of the layout. So obviously the Swarm was first built. But if you know what I'm talking about, basically Mandrill Mayhem is a brand new roller coaster as part of a brand new themed land at Chessington World of Adventures called World of Jumanji, which is scheduled to open later this year. It's got 3 attractions in it. It's got Ostrich Stampede, Mamba Strike. Those are like 2 little flat rides. But the main attraction is Mandrill Mayhem, which is a B&M launched shuttle wing coaster. That is quite a mouthful. I've had to go like 4 different terminologies for it, of like what kind of ride it is. It's B&M's first ever shuttle coaster. It's not their first launch coaster. It's not their first launched wing coaster, because obviously Thunderbird at Hollywood was a launch wing coaster. Plus they built but it's rare for B&M to actually build a launch coaster, because they've only built before this ride. They only actually built 3 launch coasters that are currently operating. The Incredible Hulk at Universal Orlando, Thunderbird at Holiday World, and Decepticoaster at Universal Beijing, which opened in 2021. And obviously B&M have actually got a couple of launch coasters opening this year. They've got Mandrill Mayhem and Pipeline the Surf Coaster at SeaWorld Orlando. And obviously recently, like literally the day after I uploaded the last Coast News update, they started doing testing for that. But it wasn't like full circuit testing. Basically they'd done the first part of the ride's layout, which was at the back was launched into the beyond vertical spike. And I obviously posted it on Facebook saying that they're not done full circuit testing yet, but in the next few weeks they were going to start doing full circuit testing. Literally a day later, I'd seen videos saying that they're already doing full circuit testing for the entire layout of the ride, through the 0G roll, the massive helix around the Jaguar Shrine, and it looks absolutely fantastic. However, I'm not sure if they're launching it at full speed yet exactly, because there's a part towards the top of the helix that's like got like trim brakes on it, but it didn't even make it to that part yet. The ride is scheduled to have a maximum speed of 44 miles per hour. So I have literally no idea if it's going at full speed, but I cannot wait for this thing to open later this year. In other news today, and this is kind of really sad news, basically Enterprise has been permanently removed from Alton Towers. And this is absolutely devastating, and we kind of saw this coming anyway. But if you know what I'm talking about, Enterprise was a Huss Enterprise attraction. That's literally the ride model. Is an Enterprise located at Alton Towers in Staffordshire, England. It operated from 1984, I believe, or 1987 until 2021. It operated perfectly fine through its entire lifetime, but it's one of the oldest rides at Alton Towers. And obviously it's one of the only remaining like main flat rides at Alton Towers, apart from the attractions in like CBeebies Land, and obviously the temporary retro squad rides, which can just get changed around year after year. It was one of the only permanent major flat rides left at Alton Towers. The only other one being the Blade, which is in Forbidden Valley, which is a pirate ship attraction, which is still there, operating. Basically, towards like the start of the 2020s and 2021, it's obviously been suffering some like mechanical issues. It was breaking down quite a lot during 2021, and throughout the entirety of last season, 2022, it was completely closed. Not only was it completely closed, but it was kind of like parts of the ride were taken out of the attraction. It was like half demolished basically. And it was kind of rumoured that this ride would be permanently closing, that it's had its final rides with passengers, which obviously would be really sad because it's a fantastic ride in my opinion. Obviously a lot of people thought it didn't really belong in the park because it's quite an old sort of fairground style attraction, and they could easily build up with something more modern and more advanced and new. But obviously a few weeks before the season ended, I think, Alton Towers basically confirmed online that Enterprise is no longer in the park. Bearing in mind it was still there, they'd sent the gondolas for the attraction to Fort Park as spare parts for their Huss Enterprise attraction, Zodiac, which is still operating. But recently, within the last week, they had basically just completely demolished Enterprise. It's now all gone. That entire site has been paved over with like concrete or something, or whatever. But it's basically just all just gone, completely flattened. So they literally wasted no time getting rid of that. But it's absolutely devastating for obviously people who love the attraction, growing up with it. And I'm going to really miss the attraction. I'll have to get down to Fort Park next year to ride Zodiac. That's the only Huss Enterprise left in this country. And obviously they still build Enterprise attractions. Or I think it's a different manufacturer, but they're not the same as the original ones. But Enterprise was an amazing ride. It will be missed, and it's absolutely devastating that it's gone. Also in the news today, landscaping is now taking place around Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood. And this is, honestly, this ride is just visually spectacular. But this ride being built at Dollywood, if you know what I'm talking about, basically, Big Bear Mountain is a brand new roller coaster opening at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee in the United States. It is a Vekoma family launch coaster. However, it is basically an expansion to the Wildwood Grove area, which first opened back in 2019. I believe it has 3 LIM launchers, which is very unusual. Not LSM launchers, LIM launchers, linear induction motor launchers, which is very strange considering it's a modern Vekoma roller coaster. You think it'll have like LSM launchers? I don't know. It says so on RCDB that it's LIM launchers, but we'll have to wait and see. But it looks very interesting choice of attraction. It's a family Vekoma launch coaster, but what I find weird is the trains are like normal like ride vehicles, because the only type of like sort of family launch coasters Vekoma did are like motorbike coasters with the likes of Velocity at Flamingoland or Tron Light Cycle Run at Magic Kingdom. This one just has like normal ride trains with normal seating. So it looks very interesting. Obviously, it's built at like, because Dollywood is in such a fantastic location for a theme park. It's basically built on like near like in the middle of a forest next to a mountain, in the middle of Tennessee, and it looks spectacular. The amount of it's one of those heavily themed theme parks, one of those like tourist destination type theme parks, and obviously it's home to some really iconic roller coasters like Lightning Rod, Wild Eagle, things like that. It is absolutely fantastic. But the weird thing is, Dollywood have already got a launch coaster with the addition of Lightning Rod, which is the world's first and so far only launched wooden roller coaster. This is going to be a steel family launch coaster, but it's got a very long layout. It's got 3 launchers, and the layout is very long in fractal length, and obviously by default in duration. But it looks absolutely fantastic. And recently, they started doing all the landscaping, adding all like the rocks and the plants and the trees and the waterfalls and things like that. And even though it's just got like normal like forest theming, it looks amazing. And I really like the colour scheme of the attraction as well. Like orange track and dark green supports. It just pops like in the forest. Is absolutely amazing how they've done that. And I cannot wait for this attraction to open later this year. It should start testing soon. It hasn't started testing yet, but it should do within the next few weeks. And I cannot wait for it to open. And finally in the news today, Intamin have filed a patent for a new roller coaster train design. And this is a very unexpected and just completely out of the blue piece of news. Do you know what I'm talking about? Basically, Intamin is a roller coaster manufacturer located in Liechtenstein. It has built some of the best record-breaking roller coasters in the world. Like they've built King of the Car, which is the world's tallest roller coaster, and Formula Rossa, the world's fastest roller coaster. And obviously they built loads of other stuff, like loads of big, huge, and amazing roller coasters throughout the entire world, such as Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. They built obviously the original Giga Coaster, Millennium Force, and obviously they're responsible for building some absolutely fantastic and huge roller coasters. And obviously, a lot of their roller coasters recently have been Intamin Blitz coasters, which are like high speed launch coasters. And the most recent one, I believe, was Pantheon at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which opened last March. And obviously they've got some other ones opening later this year, such as Batman Gotham City Escape at Park Warner Madrid in Spain, and obviously that Two Tartis at Parc Asterix in France. They look absolutely fantastic. Some of the best roller coasters in Europe. They could easily be some of the best in Europe. But obviously, recently, like within the last few days, recently filed a patent for a brand new roller coaster design. I'm not sure what kind of coaster this is for. I think it's for like a brand new. I'm not sure if it's like for a brand new roller coaster type they've been creating behind the scenes, or if it's just like a train design they can implement on already existing coasters. But the actual design of the train itself, it's kind of like the trains on sort of pipeline surf coaster, but obviously you sat down and the seats are both facing like sideways. Like the seats on the right side are facing right and the left side is facing right. They're not facing forwards or backwards, they're facing like sideways. And that is very, very interesting to see. And there's been a lot of rumours recently, ever since this was revealed, that this could be like the new ride vehicles for Shockwave at Drayton Manor, and to replace the stand-up trains. Now that would be very interesting to see, indeed. I mean, I guess it could work because that whole area that Shockwave is in, Adventure Cove, that's more of like a seaside sort of theme. So if they replace the trains on that, it can make it feel like a surfing like a type attraction. Rename it to like something like basically like Pipeline the Surf Coaster but with a lift hill, and unique trains. And this looks very strange and interesting indeed. I cannot wait for them to unveil it, possibly at IAPA later this year. And that is it for this week's episode of Coast News. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment with a like. See you in the next video. Bye!